Good morning, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Friday, December 12th, 2014, around 8:22 in the morning in Billerica, Massachusetts. Going to be a mix of sun and clouds today. We could see several breaks of the sun, maybe a slight chance of a rain or snow shower, but nothing significant. Highs are going to be close to 40, and this weekend, more and more sun. It feels like forever that the sun hasn't been out in this area, but we have to deal with it. And we didn't get, we got a lot of rain this week and some snow, but if it was all snow, we'd probably be buried in like 4 or 5 feet of snow. Some news to report: the Chicago Blackhawks beat the Boston Bruins by the score of 3-2, and BC college basketball, the men's team, beat Maine by the score of 84-75 last night at the Heights. And BC's 4-0 at home this year, which is pretty good, but this is just playing just the cupcake teams and stuff. They have to see what they are made of in the ACC this year, as many people are predicting the BC Eagles to finish last in the ACC, but we'll wait and see about that. Some are predicting they won't win a conference game this year, but we'll wait and see about that. They might surprise people. And that's about it on that. My next subject is the top 10 greatest everything and anything. I've reached the top 10 greatest NWA/WCW feuds of all time. Some of these feuds in the history of the NWA and WCW were the classic feuds, probably the classic feud in pro wrestling history. Some of the biggest feuds in WCW and NWA history were left out on this list because I could only have 10, and some of the honorable mentions I had left off this list was Lex Luger versus Ric Flair, Magnum TA against Tully Blanchard, the Rock and Roll Express against the Midnight Express, and the Millionaires Club against the New Blood for the greatest feuds in NWA WCW history. And here are the top 10 greatest feuds in NWA WCW history of all time. Number 10 on the list is Ric Flair against Randy Savage. Flair and Savage's WCW part of their feud was probably better than the WWE part of their feud, because they feuded over a year in WCW. It started off at Slamboree 1995 when Flair attacked Savage's father, Angelo Poffo, and they had a feud that lasted into the Great American Bash 1995, where they had like a lifeguard match, which was like a lumberjack match, and they had some classic matches during that time period. And then they had a feud over the WCW title. They swapped it back and forth in late 95 through May of 1996, and that was very classic. And also, like, Miss Elizabeth came back to be in Randy Savage's corner, but she turned on Savage and went to the Nature Boy Ric Flair, and this was a very classic feud. It's at number 10. Number 9 on the list of the greatest WCW and /NWA feuds of all time, NWO Hollywood against NWO Wolfpack. This feud happened in 1998 when Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Kevin Nash had like disagreements about the NWO. The NWO Hollywood was Hogan, the Giant, Big Papa Punk, Scott Steiner, Kurt Hennig, and others against the Wolfpack, which was Kevin Nash, Sting, and Luger. This was a very entertaining feud. It was probably one of the highlights of 1998 for WCW, besides Goldberg, was this NWA Hollywood against NWA Wolfpack. Comes in at number 9. Number 8 on the all-time list of greatest NWA/WCW feuds of all time, the Nasty Boys against Harlem Heat. Tag team feud that happened in 1995. The Nasties and the Harlem Heat had some classic tag team matches, especially at like they had brawls and stuff. They had a good match at Uncensored in 1995, which was a run-out for Match of the Year for Pro Wrestling Illustrated. They swapped the WCW World Tag Team titles several times. This was a classic tag team feud. Comes in at number 8. Number 7 on the list of the greatest NWA WCW feuds of all time. Ravishing Rick Rude against Dustin Rhodes. This feud happened in 1993 over the U.S. title. They had a match where Rick Rude wrestled Dustin Rhodes, and it was like both wrestlers' shoulders were on the mat, but one lifted one up over the other, and the referee gave it to Rick Rude to the U.S. title, but they decided to have the title vacant, and they had really a classic feud to determine the vacant U.S. title. They had an Iron Man match at Beach Bash 93, which was a classic, and then eventually Dustin regained the U.S. title, but this feud in 1993 was probably one of the best feuds of all time in WCW. Classic matchups between Rude and Rhodes. Number 6 on the all-time list of greatest NWA/WCW feuds of all time, Ric Flair against Sting. This was a classic feud that started in 1988 at the Clash of Champions, where Flair and Sting wrestled to a 45-minute time limit draw. This match made Sting to be a kind of a big superstar in the world of professional wrestling, and a couple of years later they had a feud that started when Sting was kicked out of the Horsemen at the Clash of Champions. Sting was supposed to win the title at like Wrestle War 1990, but he tore out his knee, and that was postponed. But at Great American Bash 1990, Sting beat Flair for the NWA, which became the WCW World title. And then a few months later, this all mind games with the Black Scorpion angle, which turned out to be Flair. Flair regained the title in January 1991, and then a few months, the feud simmered down for a couple of years, but it's restarted in 1994 when they unified the International World title and the WCW World title. Flair won that, and also they continued this feud in 1995 when Flair wanted Sting to be his tag team partner against Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman, and Flair turned on him at Halloween Havoc, and they had some classic matches afterwards with Flair and Sting's feud. Number 6 all time. Number 5 all time on the greatest NWA/WCW feuds of all time, Jimmy Boogie Woogie Man Valiant against Paul Jones's Army. This was a very mid-card feud at best, kind of like was a very long, drawn-out feud and stuff like that. Jimmy Valiant wrestled Paul Jones and his army. His army included the Assassins, the Mambo Express, Abdullah the Butcher, Manny Fernandez, Ravishing Rick Rude, Baron von Raschke, Shach Galotny, and so many others. Valiant wrestled Paul Jones and other kinds of matches like hair versus hair match, losers leave town match, you name it. This was probably a very classic feud. I call this the equivalence of the Austin McMahon feud in the WWE in the late 90s, but this was a mid-card feud at best, which seemed to never end, just like the Austin McMahon feud. That comes in at number 5. Number 4 on the all-time list of greatest NWA/WCW feuds of all time, Ric Flair against Dusty Rhodes. This feud was one of the best. It started in Starrcade 1984, the $1 Million Challenge between Flair and Rhodes. Flair won by referee's decision. Who was the referee was Smoking Joe Frazier, because Dusty was bleeding, and then the feud reached a feverish pitch in 1985 when, during the steel cage match between Ric Flair and Nikita Koloff, Ivan Koloff attacked Ric Flair, and the Koloffs were attacking him, and Dusty was coming down and trying to save the day, but then Flair was saying to Dusty, stay out of it. Then the Andersons, Ole and Arn, attacked Dusty, breaking his leg, and they had a match at Starrcade 85, and which Dusty won to win the NWA World title, but this was reversed because of the Dusty finish, and then they continued this feud in 1986. Dusty won the NWA World Championship, but a few weeks later, Flair won it back, and this was a very, very classic feud, one of the best. Number 3 on the all-time list of the greatest NWA/WCW feuds of all time, Sting against Vader. This feud was one of the best. It was the franchise. Sting wrestling probably the biggest heel in WCW of all time was Vader. Started in 1992 when Vader attacked Sting during like a match, and then they had several matches with at house shows. Sting won barely, and at the Great American Bash 1992, Vader won the WCW World Championship by beating Sting. Feud continued up, and when Sting beats Vader in the King of Cable at Starrcade 92, they had a great match, a White Castle Field strap match at Super Bowl Brawl 3, which was pretty good. And then they had another match at like Slamboree 1994 for the vacant WCW International World title, which was pretty good. This was probably a great rivalry between Sting and Vader. Comes in at number 3. Number 2 on the all-time list of the greatest NWA/WCW feuds of all time, Sting versus Hollywood Hulk Hogan. This feud lasted all of 1997, even though it didn't have a match until Starrcade 97, but the build-up of this feud was tremendous. Every single week on Nitro, Sting would come down to from the rafters and stuff, or in the stand, to stalk Hogan stuff. Hogan was definitely scared of Sting and stuff. Also, that would be like mocking Sting, having an NWO Sting. It just, with Hogan and Sting, it was great. And the build off to this feud happened at Starrcade 1997, where Sting beat Hogan for the WCW World title. This feud was probably the hardest thing for the WCW in 1997, and I think this was probably the best feud in WCW history ever, except the one that I'm going to mention now. The number one greatest NWA/WCW feud of all time was Ric Flair against Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. This feud started in 1989 when Steamboat came back to the NWA after he spent a couple of years in the WWE as a mystery partner to Eddie Gilbert against Barry Windham and Ric Flair. People were shocked to see the Dragon back in the NWA. And then a few weeks later, Flair faces Steamboat for the NWA World title at Chi-Town Rumble. Steamboat wins it, and they have a classic of series of great matches. At like the Clash of Champions in New Orleans, 2 out of 3 falls, with Steamboat won by hook or by crook. This was these classic matches, but the attendance at these matches, especially at the Superdome for Clash of Champions, was a pitiful 5,000. Happened on the same day at WrestleMania. 5,000 for a free show on television. It's not good for that. And then they had another match at like Wrestle War in 1989, which was really classic. And several years later, in 1994, Flair and Steamboat had a series of matches that were pretty good as well. They were like maybe even better than the series they had in 1989. The one match they had at Dream Spring Stampede 1994 was classic. I think the WCW title was held up after that because of like a controversial of the match. And then on WCW Saturday night, Steamboat wrestled Flair for the vacant WCW World title, and Flair regained it. I was really surprised that they didn't go with Steamboat winning the WCW World title at Spring Stampede 1994, and a few weeks later Flair could have regained it back, because that would have been awesome and stuff. But I think they were doing this because Hogan was coming to WCW and stuff like that. And there you have it, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. I'll be back later on today with 2 more video blogs. One about the classic television holiday special, Frosty the Snowman. And the third and final video blog tonight will be about personality profile Frank Gifford. See you later, Facebook friends and YouTube followers. Bye now.